everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Sheena. I'm actually the director for IE University's international office in London. Our university is a university in Spain, and I have been asked to be part of the university committee for IC3. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for giving us your time. Just so you all know, this webinar is for everybody who has already registered to the IC3 conference, as well as anybody who's interested in being part of the IC3 conference. So the way that we've planned today's session is that I will be introducing a little bit about the format and the setup that we have planned for our conference, as well as what's happening just around the conference before and after. And then we'll be directing you to a little bit more information that we have on the web, as well as opening the floor to questions. So just before we start, what I do ask is please do mute your microphones at this point, if you don't mind, just so that if we have any questions, we have no interference with the microphones. But do please try and save your questions until about maybe 5 to 10 minutes into this presentation, until I've given everybody a really quick overview in terms of what we have on offer. So once again, thank you for joining us and welcome. IC3, International Career and College Counselling Conference. It's taking place very soon, 26 days. We've actually got a countdown on the website. We're very, very excited for it. It's going to be taking place over the 30th and 31st of August, and it's going to be taking place in Delhi. So IC3 has a mission. IC3 really wants to make sure that those who are working in industry, those who are getting up every single Monday morning, are excited about going to work, excited about making a difference. And what we're really doing is making sure that we start right from the very beginning. How do we ensure that we can make that happen? All the way from students being advised at school, through teachers, through academics, through high school, college counselling. Make sure that they are able to go and choose their universities.
I've got questions about the spreadsheet. I got to listen to this thing.
Yeah, no Marjorie, can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Just once again, if you could all mute your microphones just for the moment until we're ready for questions, that would be great. So IC3 is really bringing together students' needs, the contact, the guidance, the help from schools, linking them with university admissions advisors, university representatives, as well as industry professionals, to make sure that students have the best advice. Students are aware of the options that are available to them, that they're advised best, that they are open to considering universities and subjects that maybe they don't know all of the information on, but college counselors can help them get that information. Maybe there's a university out there that's their perfect fit and they don't quite know about it yet. So what IC3 is doing is bringing all of these three groups together, making sure that leaders from schools, academics, as well as college counselors can be in the same place to share their information, learn from one another, as well as interact with universities and educational institutions, as well as industry specific professionals. So who will be attending? As I said, from the school side, there's a variety of leaders and professionals that we have. There will be very senior level high school professionals attending, including presidents, including counselors, including teachers, academics, provosts, to make sure that those who can make decisions are aware of the trends, are aware of what's changing in education and how they have a hand in making sure that they make it student focused. Universities, making sure that schools, counselors, academics have that the relationship face to face with those top universities, with those who are going to be guiding their students, with those who can tell schools what is actually available, what's out there, and what kind of programs, what kind of university environment might be a great fit for their students, as well as organizational delegates. So we have College Board attending, we have Education USA, we have International Baccalaureate as well. So again, looking at the student, how do we make sure that the student finds an absolutely perfect program, an absolutely perfect environment where they're studying something that they're passionate about, so that eventually they go on to do a job that they absolutely love. They are excited to wake up on a Monday morning and give their all and create something that maybe doesn't even exist yet, but is very powerful and helpful to society. So the kind of questions that we're going to be focusing on is what to study. Are we looking at what students want to study? Are we looking at what they're good at? Are we looking at what they are capable of? Are we looking at what their parents want them to do? Where can they study? Are they looking at a small campus-based university? Are they looking to go abroad? Are they looking to learn another language? And how to go about making that happen? All of these questions, how to find the right answers, how to make sure that high school guidance counselors have the access to universities as well as the information to help them guide through that process. So the benefits of the IC3 conference. We have, as I said, high school representatives coming through. There'll be a lot of networking with high schools, with other high schools to see how things are done differently from one school to another. Making sure that they have the links to the universities. We have actually fairs for the universities and high schools at the event so that you can actually go meet face to face with these professionals. Where to study, rather than kind of students coming through saying, this is what I think I'm good at and this is what I should do, kind of taking a step back and making sure that students are asked, what is it that you want? What is it that you really see yourself doing? And what is it that you're passionate about? And maybe a university or a program that they haven't heard of yet is out there for them. So that we're really making sure that high school counselors are around universities, new universities, as well as those that they might already know, but making sure that all of the universities who are coming from the surrounding areas or from much further afield are able to be in contact with these college counselors as well. So highlights from what we have coming up, we have some fantastic universities, some fantastic schools, delegates from both sides who are already registered. Right now we have about 350 delegates registered, but between those who are in process with their registration, as well as those who have told us that they may well register on the day, we may see close to double that number, between 600 and 700 delegates in total attending this event. Now, as you all know, this event cannot be successful without all of the participation of both the high school delegates as well as the university delegates. So we're really, really looking forward to hearing from you, to having you join us, but also sharing your own experience and being very open to hear about what everybody else has to say. What's changed in the last 6 months, what's changed in a year's time, and also what you forecast seeing in the trends that your students are telling you. We have keynote addresses, lots of networking opportunities, specific sessions for high schools, leaders, counselors, teachers, as well as university admissions and university leaders. After last year's conference, we did a huge survey. We took a lot of feedback in terms of what our attendees enjoyed, what they feel like they wanted to hear more about on, and based on that feedback, we've really made sure that our content this year is strong. Between the university committee and all of our leadership members, we're really making sure that we are voicing our concerns in terms of what we want to hear, but also what we want to know, what we want to share. So with all of this in mind, we've created our session proposal. And as a sneak peek for all of you who are attending today, you can see some of the details of our sessions that will be taking place at the conference. All of our sessions will be published next week on our website. But as you can see here, we've got some very detailed as well as some trend-focused presentations that we've got scheduled. So looking at the Canadian system specifically, looking at, let's see, we've got transformational learning and technology. Technology is taking off, especially with our young students. And how can universities make sure that they're on par with that? How can they make sure that they're serving their students well in terms of information? Looking at holistic admissions, looking at what college counselors need to know about the trends in global higher education. So there are lots and lots of new options available, lots and lots of things to take on board, which our college counselors don't need to memorize, but we just want to make sure that they're in contact with the right people who are there to help them. Something new that's happening this year, something that we didn't do last year. We have some fantastic universities and high school counselors who are attending the conference who are extremely enthusiastic about their jobs. It doesn't feel like a job because they are just excited about making sure that they can get these students to do something that they're passionate about, to go on to do a job that they absolutely love and really make a difference in the world. It's their efforts, it's their time, it's all of their focus that's making sure that these students get to a successful position. And the way that we really want to recognize and award that is asking all of our members, all of our attendees, everybody to put in a nomination for an award. Someone who you think really deserves some recognition, somebody who's really made a difference and is working hard to make sure our students get to that success. We will be looking to take nominations for awards for careers and college counselors, looking for nominations for admissions within the university environment, as well as schools. So those who you think have made a difference, who deserve to be given a little bit of recognition, please make sure you put your nominations through. Now going to look at what's happening around the conference. Although the main event will be the conference in Delhi over the 30th and 31st of August, we have options for college counselors, high school delegates, as well as university admissions folks, to make sure that they can get the most out of the time that they spend within the IC3 events. And one of the options is pre-conference workshops. So we've got College Board, who has set up a pre-conference workshop, and it's titled Clearing a Path for High School Students to Own Their Future Through Connections to Right Fit Global Universities. So for high school delegates, this could be an extremely interesting option for you, and it's happening the day before the conference on the 29th. For university delegates, another option is the fairs and the symposium. So we're actually taking university representatives to schools, 4 different schools, to which another 6 schools have been invited. So students and parents coming to meet face-to-face with university representatives. Talk about the options. Sometimes it's a very family-orientated decision, and parents want to talk directly to university representatives. Schools and students who've been talking over email to universities will have the opportunity to talk face-to-face, go through questions, and share their ideas with universities there. This will be happening one day before the conference and one day after the conference. So it's an optional add-on for university admissions. We're looking to host a total of more than 500 students and parents at each of these events.
Sheena, can I jump in on this slide? This is Ganesh.
Hi, Ganesh. Yeah, go ahead. On this slide?
Yes, on the IC3 Fair and Symposium. Good evening, where I am. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. There are 4 different events at 4 different host school campuses, which are spread across the National Capital Region. And each school, each of the 4 host schools that are hosting the Student Fair and Symposium is inviting anywhere between 20 and 30 schools in their region, of which we expect about 12 to 15 high schools to attend. So it is essentially across these 4 events at 4 different high schools and 4 different parts. The National Capital Region is quite large. So for those of us who are familiar with this region, we have Noida and Gurgaon and Delhi and West Delhi covered. We're expecting to see altogether about 50 schools. So 10 plus schools at each high school event and 500 plus students and parents at each event. So we're expecting to see about 50 schools at these 4 host schools. So I just want to point that out. And based on current expectations, the numbers are looking well past 800 students and parents at each event, possibly 1,000 plus students and parents at each of these 4 events. So 2 of these events will be on the 29th and 2 of these events will be on the 1st of September. That's all I wanted to add at this time, Sheena. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
Thank you. No, not at all. That sounds fantastic, and I'm so pleased that you did. As you can see, especially for our university folks, this is an opportunity for you to meet face-to-face with students, and especially for students to meet face-to-face with you. So thank you for that. So as I mentioned at the beginning of this webinar, we have attending this conference, attending the webinar today, those who have registered, and hopefully you found a little bit more information after hearing a little bit from Ganesh and myself, but also those who are still considering attending the conference. We have lots and lots of information on the website, but we are available for any questions that you have. Kate, are you connected to share a little bit of information about the website?
Yes, ma'am. I think if you could turn over the presenter control to me, please. I'll turn on my camera there.
I can see you, Kate. Go ahead.
All right. I don't have control to take over the screen. Can you make me a presenter?
You are presenter.
All right, there we go. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to give everyone just a quick demo of the IC3 website in case you haven't had a chance to go through it yet. And even for those of you who are registered already, just to kind of show you where some of the quick and easy things are located that you might want to keep handy as you're planning for the conference. On the home page, you're going to get some of the overview information that Sheena has already sort of given you a brief on. There's a really cool video about last year's conference. If you haven't seen that, it's a great way to kind of see what's in store, what happened last year, and what we're planning for this year. And of course, the countdown that Sheena mentioned as well, 26 days to go. And in terms of planning for the conference, I'm going to go over the most important tabs here, which would be the program tab, the participating institutions tab, and the travel and hotel. So we'll start with program. If you click on schedule summary here, right now it's going to give you just kind of an overview, starting with the pre-conference on the 29th of August, and then it goes day 1 on the right here. And if you keep scrolling down, then there's day 2 of the conference and the post-conference. It just gives kind of a brief overview of how the breakdown of the day is going to go. And as we start to announce the sessions specifically next week, you will start to see, instead of, for example, session 1, session 2, you'll start to see some of the titles listed here as well. So you'll be able to see which sessions are going to be available at which time slots. Another important thing, as we're sort of unveiling the sessions, would be the speakers tab. And on the speakers tab, it gives you an overview of what, right up here, what the themes of the sessions are going to be. And on an ongoing basis, we're kind of uploading more of the session speakers and the presenters as we go along here. So whatever's on the page now, you'll continue to see it changed and updated over the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye on this, and you can look out for some familiar faces and see who's going to be presenting at the conference. One other thing that we'd really like to point out is the university and high school exhibits, which is also under the program tab here. This is the part of the conference, it's going to be on opposing days. So one day we'll have the universities, the university delegates all set up their own individual tables, and the high school delegates can come around to meet with them and learn about each of the universities. And then on the opposing day, the high schools, all the high school delegates will get the chance to set up their tables, and then the university delegates will come around to learn about their high schools. So these are not student fairs, these are just fairs for the delegates at the conference. And as you plan, as you look forward to attending this, there's an FAQs document here that's available for download that's on this underlined part at the top. So if you download the FAQs PDF here, it will show you kind of giving you a little more information about how the exhibits work, and it will also let you know what you should bring in terms of how do you set up your table. It gives you some recommendations for brochures, the number of brochures you might want to bring, the number of business cards, different things like that. And on the second page here is an FAQ sheet for any universities that are going to be participating in the student fairs at the host high schools that Ganesh and Sheena were discussing earlier. So that's kind of an overview of what you need to expect and different information for that. And talking about the sort of the pre and post conference events, we do have a specific page about the fair and symposium, which are the student fairs that are hosted at the host high schools. A little bit about each of the 4 high schools, how to register. If you're a university participant, you can just go in and add that to your current registration. And again, a little more of that scheduling information, recommendations for table setup. And again, at the top of this page as well, there's a link to that FAQs page that I just showed you earlier. And if you're a counselor or a high school delegate and you're interested in the pre-conference workshop, we also have a page that gives you more information about that, goes into a little more detail about all the topics, kind of an overview and an abstract, also details on how to register, a little bit about the College Board, and a little bit about some of the presenters that you'll see at the workshop as well. And this one will be hosted at Pathways School, Gurgaon. Then the awards that Sheena mentioned, those you can find information about that here. The nomination window actually is closed now, so hopefully everybody has gotten in the nominations a little bit earlier, and we're excited to be announcing that at the conference. This is the first awards of this kind in India, so we're really excited to kind of cap the conference program off of that. And then going along, if you're interested in who else is going to be at the conference, who else is coming, you want to see maybe some of your colleagues, you might be looking, to the other side. If you're a university, you want to know who the high schools are, or vice versa. We're currently updating this at least once a week with all of the current registrations. So we have a list of the university delegates here. You can see that it's a very broad range. We go from big, well-known public schools to small liberal arts schools from all different countries. Switzerland, United States, UK, and just kind of looking through here, there are lots of different regions that are jumping out. And one also little note here that if it has F and S after the name of the university, that means that they're also participating at the fair and symposium, the student fairs. So that would be of interest to high schools. Then further down is a list of all the current high schools. And again, just kind of as a note, this lists the schools specifically and the universities specifically. Some of them might have more than one delegate coming from each school. So just a quick note about that, but it's still obviously a very wide range. And again, from all different states of India, all the different 29 states of India, you can expect to meet people from high schools and beyond as well. We have Indonesia, I believe we have some Europe, Africa. So it's going to be a really great range of delegates from all across. And the last thing I would like to show is the travel and hotel section if you're still planning your travel. Under that tab, here's information about the conference hotel, a link to book your hotel if you want to stay at the conference hotel. There are also some alternative hotels suggestions if you're interested in that. Travel planning is a very important page for anybody who is coming to the conference. The travel planning page gives you information about transport, what to do when you arrive. If you're attending the fair and symposium, these are kind of the times that you're going to need to keep in mind of when you need to arrive, when you need to leave. Same thing for the pre-conference. And if you're just attending the conference, it gives you the start and end time, so you can kind of plan your travel around that. And then additional information about health and medical and passport and visa for anybody who's coming from outside of India. That's all I had to kind of demo the website. If we want to turn it back over to Sheena and Swaraj for questions, I think.
Thank you, Kate. Well, I think we've covered a lot. We've thrown a lot of information at you all, but at this point, if you have any questions, please feel free to either unmute the audio option or type in a question in the chat bar that we have.
Sheena, I had a question that someone asked at the beginning. This is Kate. That someone asked at the beginning of the webinar before we started. I thought it was a really good question. Is if you're a delegate and you're planning on coming to the conference, how important is it that you also consider either the pre or the post conference events? Are those very important for networking, or just kind of what would you recommend in terms of, if you're a counselor, would you definitely come to the workshop? If you're a university, would you definitely plan for the fairs?
Thank you, Kate. Well, yes, in a nutshell, they are specific events that are created to make sure that everybody who's attending doesn't leave feeling like they're missing out on anything. Going back to a lot of the feedback that we got and how we can make sure that everybody who attends comes to these events having all of their questions answered, having their needs fulfilled, making sure that they are prepared to go ahead and help their students find the best fit university, the best program that suits their personality. This is a way for us to help you do that. Now, the university fairs are going to see a lot of students coming together with their parents. So especially for such a big decision, what program to study, which university to go to, this is vital that parents and students meet university representatives face to face, that they can ask them something and get their opinion, that they can get real-time feedback, that they can be sharing their concerns rather than waiting and talking over email, which is great. Really kind of getting a sense for what they want to know and any additional information that they can do. Now, for high school delegates, again, the same thing. In a workshop that's been created and crafted and designed specifically for them by College Board. So yes, they are extremely helpful. Yes, they will be specific to high school delegates as well as university delegates. And then within the conference, we have again a variety of over 30 sessions, which are veered and engineered to make sure that they are really covering all areas and all levels of all of our delegates who are attending. So I can see some questions coming through. All counselors and high school principals want printed material. Ganesh, I would recommend minimal material, single page profiles would be okay, but people are very reluctant to carry stuff around and your business cards are best. Completely agree. And if you don't have business cards already made for you from your school or available to you, please think about printing out something very simple where you are able to share your details and make sure that anybody who you want to stay in contact with is able to leave with your details. So whether you can make a simple business card be more helpful than a huge brochure. And we're all kind of conscious about the fact that there's going to be a lot of attendees, every single one bringing a brochure, even if it's great information, it's difficult to take away. One-page profiles would be fantastic, but make sure again that that business card is key. A bit of a silly question. Let's see, Lisa, a bit of a silly question. No question is silly, don't worry, Lisa. But are the listed alternate hotels fairly close to the Marriott where traffic is taken into consideration? Yes, most are less than 5 minutes away, as Ganesh has mentioned. Some are right across or 1 minute away. Yes, it's a 2-day intense conference. Many of our attendees are flying in, are coming from literally, I'm coming in from London, and of course what we want to be able to do is be at our best ability to share our information, to learn, to engage, and just making sure that everybody's comfortable and is close by. So yes, the hotels that we have registered are close by.
Can I jump in, Sheena? Lisa, you may want to take a quick look at Google Maps. There are two hotels which are literally stone's throw. One is a Lemon Tree, and one I believe is a Novotel or a Sofitel. I think it's a Novotel. So you may want to look at them. And I do know there are some conference registrants who have chosen to stay at those hotels.
If I can contribute here, most of these hotels are in AeroCity. All of these hotels are in AeroCity, so they're literally 5 minutes walking distance. And I would highly recommend that you either stay here, because Delhi traffic in the morning can be really nasty. So I would highly recommend that to make the most of it and not getting stuck in traffic and getting tired. Everybody should prefer these hotels only.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your feedback, Samir.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. One more question. Shilpi, hello everyone. I am one of the presenters. Do I need to mail the final presentation in advance? Can the co-presenters work till the end? I have forwarded our profiles. Ganesh, Swaraj, maybe you might be better equipped to answer this question.
Well, we don't have any requirement, Shilpi, to receive the presentations. You can work on with them right till the end. And your session will be recorded and will be available for people to view after the conference. And we will request all presenters to submit their presentations so that they can also be made available online later. But we don't need it before your session.
Thank you for your question, Shilpi. Any more questions? Okay, well, feel free to send any questions through if you think of any. We've kind of shared our information at this point. We have a question. Thank you, Candice. I'm glad it was helpful. We're here in case you have any more questions, in case you leave this webinar thinking, oh, I should have asked that. Please, please, please let us know. You can see the contact details on the website. Marjorie, can we please encourage all students attending the fair to bring small papers with their names, contact info, especially email and WhatsApp numbers? Waiting for them to write everything and then writing legibly is tough. It's good feedback. It's something that we can mention. We can take it back to the schools and see what we can do. Of course, this whole conference is making sure that from all sides we take feedback and make this as successful as possible. So we'll take that on board. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, David. I'm glad it was helpful, but like I say, we're here to help. This is kind of the first step for all of us to connect, but the long-term aim is that we all meet in person, we share our ideas, we all have a common passion, and that we stay in touch afterwards to see how we can help each other to making sure that our students find their best fit, find the program they're destined to do, and they go on to do something that they're happy dedicating their professional life to. So yeah, it's not possible without all of your support. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for listening. And we really look forward to seeing you very soon.